hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Pursuit Abroad. Today, we're in the foyer of the church because there's a lot of events happening right now. You might hear some music happening because the praise team for Salem Baptist Christian School is having their tryouts right now. You also, if you can look behind us, can see we've got some construction happening. Some exciting times happening here at the church as they are tearing down the mission houses to make way for the new parking lot.
Yeah, so if there are any noises you don't recognize, don't be disturbed.
Right.
But keep about your normal routine.
I feel like we should address something. And here's the funny part.
We're standing.
That we're standing. No, we are identically dressed today, completely accidentally.
Yeah.
This is something that the pastoral staff does an awful lot of because...
Dressing.
Yeah, we do an awful lot of dressing. No, we do an awful lot of dressing the same because we all have kind of a similar style.
Yeah.
Kivit will wear, we just see that coming.
Yeah.
Usually it's not this elaborate.
If it's in the Kohl's magazine, we're wearing it.
That's right. All right, so we want to get started with an icebreaker. Harper, what do we got today?
We've got this jar.
Here, I'll hold it. There we go.
We can...
Teamwork. It makes the dream work. Okay, here we go.
All right, let's see.
All right. I don't like that look on his face.
Tell a surprising fact about yourself.
Oh. Okay.
There's that one.
Yeah, there is that one. Let's do that one.
You want to do that one?
Tell a surprising fact about yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, not a lot of people know this.
Okay.
But Jill knows it, and I've tried to keep it very hidden. I can do the Thriller dance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can do it. I'm not going to.
That is a surprise.
Not going to because I'm a Baptist, but I can do the Thriller dance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Surprising fact about me. I feel like this is going to be one of those we're going to have to edit.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not very surprising. Surprising fact. I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. I grew up around here, but I was born in Florida, so that's my surprising fact. Most people don't know that.
You heard it here first, folks, on The Pursuit. He was born in Florida. We'll take some time right now with your group to discuss some surprising things about yourself. Well, this week, Pastor Kivit spoke out of the Beatitudes again, and this time the Beatitude was, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they will be filled." And then Pastor Kivit shared from John Stott's commentary, his book on the Sermon on the Mount, where John Stott actually breaks it up as in there's legal righteousness, there's moral righteousness, and there's social righteousness. And then Pastor Kivit shared with us the blessing of legal righteousness is that whole idea of us being justified by our faith in Christ. We are declared righteous by God, even though we are still sinners.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, what does that evoke from us? What does that cause us to respond like, or how does that cause us to act like, and therefore live our lives in light of that? Because, as we know, we are guilty. There's no question about that. And there's nothing we could do to make that go away. And so when he declares us as legally righteous, that's a huge thing for us, something we couldn't do for ourselves. Yeah. But then obviously there's other impacts of that as well.
Yeah, so we thought we'd like our groups to talk about this. What are the impacts of us being aware of our legal righteousness? We've been declared righteous by our faith in Christ, even though we're still awaiting that day of redemption when we are made exactly like Christ. We're made just like Him in this. Right now, we are declared righteous, even though we're still sinners. Yeah. What are some emotions? What are some effects of that in our daily lives?
Secondly, Pastor Kivit talked about this aspect of social righteousness. And so what does this look like in our lives? And then kind of what we come from this is this question of, should Christians concern themselves with social righteousness? Because this, again, what does that mean for us now?
Yeah, and Pastor Kivit shared from Micah 6:8, where it says that He has shown you, O man, what is good and what the Lord requires of you, to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. So according to the prophet Micah, they're all related. To do to walk humbly with God has to include loving others and caring for others when we can. So we thought we'd pitch to our group here, what are some ways, should a Christian concern themselves with social righteousness, and maybe even ask this question, what are some ways we can every day? So take some time right now to discuss this with your group. Well, finally, in Pastor Kivett's sermon, he talked about the idea of moral righteousness and the idea of behavior. And he shared how a Christian should see, as we know, Jesus as our standard of behavior. So we thought we'd like to ask the question, even though it almost sounds like a given, it has a chance to be really profound. What would it look like for a Christian to have Jesus as their standard of behavior?
Yeah, often what we can do is we like to compare ourselves with others, and we like to kind of set the bar as high as those around us hold it to be. And so then it becomes a challenge of, okay, am I living up to their standards? Am I doing better than them? And a lot of times we can fool ourselves into thinking, well, at least I'm not as bad as this man, or at least I'm not as bad as this, at least I'm not doing this or whatever. And that's really setting the bar way lower than what God has required of us. Again, that's requiring the need of our justification, our legal righteousness. And so now in this moral righteousness, how does our behavior and our actions reflect what God has done in our lives for us?
So take some time right now with your group to discuss what would it look like for us to have Jesus as our true standard of our behavior. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of The Pursuit Abroad. We usually say who knows what will be next, but what we'd like to do for you is this. Email us at info@salembaptistnow.org if you have an idea where on campus or even off campus you'd like us to record the next episode of The Pursuit. As always, you can click and watch previous episodes of The Pursuit by clicking at the link on your screen.
Yeah, you can also go back and watch past sermon videos and catch up on those, even in our Beatitudes series. Be sure that you don't miss any of those. Also subscribe so you get these videos automatically as soon as we upload them. Hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.